Our next Spark is by Brennan Zelener, and it's titled Robots in the Sky. Brennan is a geek from Alaska who loves technology, people, business, and backcountry skiing, and he's going to need to tell me if Diamond Peaks has enough snow yet. He is going to be Elmo on a moped for Halloween, so I need to hook him with a GPS because I want to see this. So here we go, Brennan.
For the last 16 months, I've been experimenting with recreational drones. Everything from remote control planes to totally autonomous quadcopters. It's been a heck of a journey, and I want to share the story with you. There have been some broken ones on the way. When I was about 8 years old, I watched the Home Alone series, and it changed my life. Macaulay Culkin built these elaborate contraptions that thwarted the bad guys, and I fell in love with the idea of building things. When the third movie of Home Alone came along, the kid built a remote control car and he put a camcorder on top of it, and he streamed the video that was coming from the camcorder to a TV in his attic. He drove the car around like a remote control spy cam, and it blew me away. It was pretty awesome. So naturally, like an 8-year-old boy, I went on eBay to see if I could buy the parts to build one for myself. I got a wireless security camera, a dune buggy, the whole gamut, and I was really excited to put it all together. It was pretty cool. Unfortunately, this is what my screen looked like after I put it all together. At that time, wireless security cameras were not meant to be driven around on remote control cars. They were meant to be static, and so you got a lot of interference. So I shelved the project. I just didn't think about it anymore. I thought it was done. But something happened in the last 15 years that was pretty incredible for these remote control objects. Cell phones turned into smartphones, and with that, the cost of little sensors like GPS and gyroscopes and small cameras came down tremendously. And that cost coming down enabled really cool things like this, these drones, these helicopters with multiple rotors, because they use the sensors that have become cheaper because of cell phones to stay stable in the air. So it's pretty exciting. So, seeing the popularity of this, I realized that as drones became more popular, as people started thinking what they could do with them, everything in the remote control industry became cheaper. The planes became cheaper, the helicopters became cheaper, the remote control configurations became cheaper. So it made it a lot easier to buy stuff. So the Home Alone idea came back to me, and I thought, what if we can stick a camcorder on a plane instead of a car? That'd be a lot cooler. It'd be like telepresence, but you're flying a plane, you're like a real pilot. So I came up with this idea, and it was also a little bit of a mischievous idea because I live across the street from a golf course, and the golfers seem kind of pretentious every once in a while, so I wanted to fly my plane from my backyard where they couldn't see me and dive the golf course and pester the golfers. So I dove in with both feet. I bought a lot of remote control planes. This is the back of my Volvo station wagon filled with them. And I went out with friends flying every single weekend. We flew, and just the excitement of learning how to fly drove me. Learning how to fly means you also end up crashing a lot of things. But because the cost has come down so much, a crash like this, which ruined my plane, was probably a $100 fix. So it didn't prevent me from continuing and iterating. After I learned how to fly a little bit better, I put a camera on my plane and decided to add the video component. That's a plane sitting in my living room. It's got a camera on it, and my controller has a 7-inch screen that the camera streams to, and it works this time. And that's my dog. This was one of our first flights, flying above Horsetooth Reservoir. The ranger there kicked us out, but the experience of flying by looking at a screen on the ground was one of the most incredible things that I've ever experienced, so it got us hooked. Once we started flying with the video component a bunch, we decided to take it to another level, and we bought a $300 computer that we put in the plane that acted as an autopilot, as a brain. Now you flip a switch, and the plane goes into autopilot mode. It can fly itself. After planes, we kind of hit the limit of what planes could do, and we played with them a lot. We decided to get into quadcopters because these things can hover. They can hover and they can go backwards. They become much more versatile, and that's really important when you want to film things. With planes, you just go forward. There's only one direction. I have a quadcopter now, after a year's worth of work, that can fly in a 3-mile range. It can go 50 miles an hour, and it can record with a GoPro in full high-definition video. It's really exciting for backcountry ski footage. And we even upgraded from the Home Alone dream. Now we fly. This is a guy at our group. We fly in these goggles with screens in them. It's awesome. It's totally immersive. You're not flying looking at an old television. You're in the plane. You're in the copter. It's amazing. We can also control them via the little computer on board with a tablet. So this tablet has a Google Maps overlay. You draw a route on that tablet, and you click fly, and the copter goes and flies it. I can also fly it from my smartwatch. The sky seems to be the limit in this industry. We've come so far in a year and a half. I truly believe that drones will be delivering packages in the next 5 to 10 years. I can't wait to share with you what my drone is doing next year. Thank you.
Well done.